All praise to the Most High. So this past weekend, we were able to complete a blitz. We will not be intimidated blitz in Gastonia, North Carolina. All right. And of course, everything that IUIC does somehow ends up on somebody's camera phone and makes its way to TikTok or some type of social media platform, and therefore it goes viral. And that's not because of us. That's for the glory of the Lord. Okay. So let's play that first video real quick of the Righteous Rant.
Here you go, Gaston County. This has been underneath your noses for 2 years now. Getting bigger and stronger every week. This is a cult church. Where the old Elks Lodge used to be.
Paul, so he said they get bigger and stronger every week. Meaning every week he watching. You remember on Home Improvement? Remember Tim Allen? He had what's his name? His neighbor that never showed his nose. He always would look over the fence like that. What was his name? Wilson. You never saw Wilson's nose. You only saw right here, and he'd just be looking at everything he doing. Tim would be in the backyard fixing something. Next thing you know, Wilson come out of nowhere. You know, if you did this, that was like, man, what the hell? You been watching me the whole time? This is Wilson. This is Wilson from Home Improvement watching the prophets. All right, play it again.
Getting bigger and stronger every week. This is a cult church.
This is a cult church.
The old Elks Lodge used to be. They're chanting, yelling, screaming. This is not a church that worships God. They're spreading hate, intimidation. They only recognize themselves as Christ. How are we allowing this to happen, Gaston?
Paul, so this go back to what Bishop and them been saying, what Bishop Nathaniel brought out last week in his Sabbath class about these policies and so forth they put forth. This is a call for that. When these people record us and stuff like that, they're not recording us so that they can go home and watch it with their family. They're recording us because they want to try to create propaganda, to try to say that we are a cult, we are a hate group. But what you're actually seeing is Ezekiel 37, verse 10. This is what you're actually seeing. This is biblical, all right? And the Bible talks very emphatically, all right? Vehemently, I like the words, about how the children of Israel were going to rise up in the last day. Read that for me.
The book of Ezekiel 37 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
So I prophesied as he commanded me.
Go ahead.
And the breath came into them.
Go ahead.
And they lived and stood up on their feet, an exceeding great army.
Read. So the Bible says the spirit of life from God. No, I'm thinking about Revelation 11. I ain't even got that yet. I want that next though. So it says, and I will multiply. Wait, what the hell I'm reading that? This is Ezekiel 36 and 10. Excuse me. Ezekiel 37 and 10. It says, so I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. If we was all out there, women was out there twerking, and brothers was out there, you know, shooting cards and stuff like that, even though guns may be involved and drugs may be involved, the white man would not be afraid. He'll come and try to come across the street and jump in on the party. He won't play spades and domino with us. But because we out there standing up for the Lord with discipline, we're in order. Yeah, that's Wilson right there. You never saw Wilson snaz. You didn't know what his nose looked like, but I'm pretty sure it was a hook because he's a damn European, okay? So they see us in that capacity and say, wait a minute, they don't move like a regular church. We can condition the black church to be a certain way, and these guys are not it. These guys are in formation. These guys wear black pants and black boots, and they all wear the same shirt. And they're in order, and they got rank and structure and security walking around with that guy, so he must be somebody of importance. And they looking around, I'm telling you, man, they look at us, they say, man, these dudes is well organized. They in order, they understand security, they understand discipline. They are not the average Negro that we created in a laboratory. That's what they say. And read that part again, what it say?
So I prophesied as he commanded me.
Go ahead.
And the breath came into them, and they lived.
It said the breath came into them, and they lived. What is that breath? Give me that real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 7:24. What is that breath that came into them and they lived? Let's see.
This is the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24.
Yep.
Let's go.
For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
Mm-hmm.
She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness.
Watch this.
For she is the breath of the power of God.
She is the breath of the power of God. It's wisdom. It is wisdom. It is discipline. It is order. It is structure. All right? It is temperance. It is love for your neighbor. It's the commandments of God. They see that and they say, hold up, they're not regular. They're different. How can we let something like this happen? We need to put laws in place so they can't be across the street from where I live or across the street where I'm at and be marching and chanting, because that puts fear in me and it makes me afraid because they might rise up against me physically. And that ain't our goal. Our goal is to show discipline and order and raise up the 12 tribes of Israel and get them to come back to God's laws, statutes, and commandments. You will not find one article about us laying hands on someone or putting harm to someone. Now, if someone in our organization were to do that, then of course we would excommunicate them. We don't deal with that. Right. We are a non-violent, Bible-based movement, and we say it before every camp, before every show. It's plastered on everything that we do. Why? Because of demons like this that will lie and say that we are something that we are not. Go ahead.
Hey, Cap, one thing that he is doing in there, for people that share that same ideology that he shares, he's throwing those little subtle trigger words in there, like cult or hate, and we don't. How did we let this happen? Mm-hmm. Those are those trigger words to trigger those people that, like I said, share that same ideology that in the last day they're going to raise up against us. So he's trying to provoke them already to come and attack a peaceful Bible-based movement.
That's that Project 2025 that Deacon was going over last night. Go ahead, officer.
Hey, let me get Daniel too. He said, how did we let this happen? He don't understand that the Most High God is at work. He ain't letting nothing happen. This is God's work. 2 and 44, yes, sir.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 44.
Come on.
And in the days of these kings shall God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed.
It said in the days of these kings, meaning right now in Babylon, God is going to set up a kingdom. Read.
Mm-hmm. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people. But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
So what he sees is his future. Mm-hmm. That's what he sees. That's why he has fear when he sees that. Oh, they're a hate group. They're a cult. He sees fear because he know what's coming. He know what's going to get broken to pieces.
And remember, Psalm says the heart of every one of them is deep. They don't think like the Negro. The Negro see that and say, I'll leave them niggas marching. The white man see that and say, no. They're getting in order before our eyes, like the Bible says. This is a problem. They're starting to understand who they are. We need to do something about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me get 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4 real quick. Just like what the cat bringing out. So they upset, they mad, they angry. Mm-hmm. But look, like you said, we're not bearing no arms. We ain't trying to. It's a war. Don't get me wrong. This is war. It's a spiritual warfare. Okay, there's not no carnal war. But read what you got.
The book of 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
And it's not fleshly. We're not picking up no weapons, no M16s, none of that stuff to go shooting and fight this army over here. Okay, read.
But mighty through God to the pulling down of the stronghold.
Right, this is through God, through God's words, the Bible right here, okay? Mm-hmm. We're going to pull down all these lies. We're going to destroy everything that y'all brought out, that you got our people on strongholds, on drugs and stuff like that. Read.
Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God.
Right, that's your doctrines, your education, your science, all that stuff. We're gonna knock all that down with God's words.
Right.
And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
Right. Read the next verse.
Verse 6. And having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience.
Right. That's sin. Right. All the stuff that our people are into in the mixed stuff. Guess what? We're going to get our people back in order. Read.
Right. When your obedience is fulfilled.
When your obedience is fulfilled. That's what he's saying right there. He see order and structure and obedience. They don't want to see us just like we was bringing out. If we was at Bike Week, he wouldn't say nothing.
Nope.
He would be in there participating. Mm-hmm. If we was at a club or something like that, he'd be in there drunk, asking us, hey, you got some weed to sell or something? Some old BS. But now we in order and we got our stuff together. They against that. They scared.
Absolutely. It puts fear in them to see black men in order. Now go to the next video. I'm going to cut that video off. So he actually took that video down off his page. But, you know, we got quick fingers around here. Okay, we got quick fingers. We will get that quick. That thing been downloaded and posted. You understand? Now watch this. So this was a few weeks ago in New Orleans, Louisiana. Same type of instance, right? Play it.
In black, Jesus Christ is black, and I live this world. I live this world. I live those streets. I live those streets. Moses told me. Moses told me. Deuteronomy. If we grow old,
Now pause it. Go to Psalms 50 and 20 real quick. Psalms chapter 50, verse 20. So what you seeing, brothers and sisters, is what's putting fear in the nation. So a lot of people say, oh, ain't nobody afraid of what y'all doing. No. The elite of the earth are. Here's the thing. For all you brothers and sisters out there that are deceived, that think that the Bible plays no significance in today's time, you don't understand what exactly is going on. A person gonna tell me the other day, well, back in biblical times, they used to wear such and such. I said, we're still living in biblical times. Right. If the Bible prophesied about the future, that means we're still living in biblical times, meaning the things that happen from now until the day that Christ returns, that's still biblical times. It's prophesied to happen. I don't understand the Negro. He don't understand what the hell he be saying. He just be talking, right? Watching Hidden Colors and all kind of stupid crap. You understand? Read that for me.
The book of Psalms, chapter 50 and verse 20.
Go ahead.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother.
This the white man. He sit there and he speak against his brother, right? He is our brother. Go ahead.
Thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
And he slanders us. Say we're a cult and a hate group and we're not of God and all that. Read.
These things hast thou done.
These things they've done.
And I kept silence.
And the Lord allowed it. He said, I kept silence. I allowed it. Go ahead.
Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such a one as thyself.
And that's why he allowed it, so that they would get comfortable, that they would get high-minded and pompous and say, you know what? It's because of us that this world is the way it is today. It's because of us, right? They think that they are the epitome of righteousness, right? But the Bible says what?
These things hast thou done, and I kept silence.
Read.
Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such a one as thyself.
Watch this, though.
But I will reprove thee.
God said, I'm going to correct you on that thought. Read.
And set them in order before thine eyes.
And that's how I'm going to correct you. When you see them rising up and you realize all the trillions of dollars we done spent to destroy this race of people, and yet they still rising up. All of the enchantments, and we're going to go over some more of them enchantments today. Everything that we've done to try to destroy all the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, we confused their history. We changed their languages. We showed them Christ looked like us. We showed them God looked like us. Showed them television programming, cut on channels. You understand that? Television. We done put these radio frequencies in their minds to destroy them and cause them to kill each other. We done mass incarcerated them, raped them, murdered them, put them in slavery, and they still rising up. Lord said, I'm going to put some fear in you. You see that the power that you thought you had still ain't working against them, against all odds, they still rising up. You're going to realize there is a God.
Message.
And I am He. I'm Him.
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.